What's up, everybody? It's Crazy Horse 6 bringing you SvS finals between 788 and 777. You can see how we got to where we are today. I think we had a little tougher route through 792, but we handled business, and here we are. We won invasion rights this week. Really, like when we look at the total server comparison, I think just based off pure participation, despite Super Joy sweeping in the challenge, the code boss challenge. If you look at the lineup of the alliances, we've got Knight and Jackpot, kind of similar size, but then you see the big drop off after number 2 for 777, while we kind of hold some decent amount of power all the way through number 6. And then the total hero power comparison, obviously the big story here is Super Joy, just absolute giant over our whale, Midnight Gravedigger, 130 million total hero power more. And then once you get down to, number 3 and 4 and below, it kind of evens out. So we jump into Friday night here, and this is our typical tactic of going in early, trying to drain some drill grounds, weaken up the enemy, reduce their will to fight just by taking a lot of troops and hoping that they don't want to use a lot of speed ups to train more for the next morning. We figure if we can take a few alliances out of the fight and just be able to focus on just fighting Jackpot, then we really liked our chances here. And for the most part, I think that probably would have played out. But we'll go into that later on as we get into the actual fight. But again, you can kind of see, I've been harping on this for a little while, a lot of people garrisoning and then leading to extra kills because people can't shield on Friday nights. So look, I hope these people don't listen to my videos, because I would hate to start seeing people shielding instead of giving up all these kills for us. That guy right there, that only had 700 and some odd kills on my last hit, but then I saw the garrison coming in, and I thought, why not? So I got another 3,000 on that one. Forgot to top up my stamina before I came in, but here we go. There's 18, 24. Holy crap. That was 38,000 or so that base gave me. This guy was smart, didn't have any troops on the wall, or hadn't trained any. And then I think we pretty much tapped out that hive. Over here we see some off-server players coming in, some alliance duel opponents. I'm typically not going to mess with off-server opponents. I figure the enemy is my friend, and if they want to take some troops and weaken them up as well, have at it. So now I flipped over here to Jackpot. Decided to start weakening them up a little bit. Took a couple thousand troops from those guys. I tried at Porter, but he ran on me. Oh, and you see that streak. You see that piss missile flying in from the left side. That's Super Joy trying to ash me. Forgot where I was for a second. Instead of just hitting a random teleport, I just ran back home. This is the important part about winning invasion rights. So after I healed up, I went, checked. I see him over there. There's his big gift box up in the upper left-hand corner, and he's immediately going over. I see him marching on somebody else, so I'm like, he's distracted. Let's come take some troops from DB here. And then I got 10 or 15,000, and then another piss missile comes flying in and bounced a lot faster this time. He got one hit on me. That's the important part about winning invasion rights is we can run and they can't follow us. So I am pretty happy that Super Joy thought they needed to send my main squad at my second squad. Kudos to me, I guess. Anyway, that's about it for Friday night. We'll jump into Saturday. We waited right until the very last minute to port in before battle for this one with someone like Super Joy in the mud. Anybody who came in early is just going to get ported. So what's the point? Rather wait until the last minute. That did allow the 777 alliances to kind of form a bit of a buffer around the capital mud and slowed us down a little bit. But you can see once we ported in, it was pretty easy going. Not a whole lot of resistance. Ashed quite a few bases right off the bat. Had a couple people try to counterattack, but as soon as they bounced off my second squad, it was actually, I feel like it was relatively quiet for my base here for a little bit. Went and captured the cannon relatively quickly. It wasn't really part of the game plan, so the way our game plan was supposed to work is we had our 3 through 6 alliances generally arranged to a zone, but we had, well, using a basketball analogy, thanks Kissimo, where we usually play zone defense or zone offense on capital invasions. This time we went like a partial zone, but we had Knight and QPO playing man-to-man. So Knight generally went wherever we saw jackpot, and our job for the first 5 or 10 minutes was really just to drain drill grounds in jackpot. QPO was lined up against PCTK, and their job was to do the same thing, drain drill grounds in those two alliances. The idea being if we could break the backs of those two alliances, then everything else would be kind of a cakewalk because everyone else in this server is just a farm alliance. So once we cleared out some space around this lower right-hand corner where a lot of jackpot bases were, it was relatively easy going on that cannon for quite a while. I think I zoom out here soon. We've got the lower right cannon pretty much locked down, and I think we have the lower left cannon by this point as well. And because nobody's touching my base, I'm actually, you can see I've got both my first and my second out there for a little bit, hitting random people. Got rid of jackpots, 213 million. Total hero power. Commander, I don't know what his name is. I just renamed him. Anybody over 200 million got renamed to their total hero power and who their top hero was, whether that was tank, air, or missile. And I think this was Super Joy came in, yeah, knocked everybody out of the cannon. So I set my main back. See if I can knock him back out. And there he goes. So now we can start refilling that cannon again, and I can bring my main back. Just as this random person decides to start hitting me. Oh, actually, I think handy one. I think that's a 213 million air. Yep. So he's going to go here in a second. This is at, I think this is at 2x speed, because I really didn't feel like doing a hour-and-a-half long narration video. I'm actually surprised at the number of jackpot bases that did have troops on the wall. Um, I try to get cute here with my gathering squad and Ash a few. You can see a few examples here where I sent, and here's where we found out that UDK jumped in. So UDK is from 802. They had switched alliances overnight or maybe this morning to IXB, which is a versus opponent of 777, and had apparently decided to jump in and help 777. That included Huey, the VIP 18, who I don't even think it's actually Hugh anymore, just somebody who has their account. And I think that's sort of the lesson here from, if I look at the way this went down, we absolutely decimated them on invasion rights. We were actually working through our plan. We already had 2 cannons under control. You can see all these Ash bases are mostly all jackpot and PZTK bases. Every time you see an Ash base, that's somebody who got Ash and decided not to jump back in the mud. They're off licking their wounds somewhere. It's not a deep server. They have 2 really powerful whales between Super Joy and Joker. Joker, medium-sized whale. That absolutely, I honestly feel like we would have rolled over this server and won if it weren't for them looking for outside help. And with a server as shallow as 777, the only way they can survive is on outside help. But here's the problem. Here's my public service announcement. It's part of the game. I get it, right? Like the devs wouldn't have set it up this way to allow you to make these connections and allow people to come in from off server and interfere with these events. Like I think this is very intentional on the developer's part, and they're playing the game the way the developers want them to. The issue that I have is that even before we beat 792, there was a lot of discussions back and forth between our R4s and Joker, who insisted that he wanted a 1v1 fight. Insisted that it should be an honorable fight. And we even had a lot of outside help because, look, the guy is pissed off a lot of alliances and a lot of servers. There's a lot of people who hate the guy because of the way he plays, because he goes back on his word. And maybe we should have realized that and not made any agreements. But we're like, yeah, we'll take you 1v1. And we had a lot of people offer to help us. And we intentionally said, no, we're not going to do the wrong thing. We're not going to tell Joker that we're going to, fight 1v1 and then ask for outside help and surprise you. It was probably too much to expect him to do the same thing. So I guess the moral of the story is we will continue to act honorably and to fulfill our obligations. And if we say we're going to do something, we'll do it. That doesn't mean we have to make agreements with someone like Joker anymore, who has shown us multiple times that he can't be trusted. Porter's going to run again. There he goes. That guy leaves all 4 squads on the wall, gives out 10,000 kills per hit, but he runs pretty quickly. Anyway, so I guess that's if we say we're going to do something, we're going to fulfill our obligations. We've had a lot of things go really right for our alliance and our server by doing the right thing by people. you know, that went from leaving 797 because we didn't like being deceived and we didn't like being lied to, and just being truthful and upfront and honest, and just playing fair with the other alliances on 788. And I think we've established 788 as a server that people trust. We have great relationships with the other alliances on the server. World chat feels like alliance chat, to be honest. It's just very low drama. And we saw this goodwill play out for us in season 4, where not only were we helping out other alliances on 788 to secure their rankings by sacrificing our own rewards, but and you can see Huey coming down. But we also helped out other alliances, other servers in our grouping, even when it didn't completely benefit our alliance. And that served us really well. And I think Knight has a really good reputation, and 788 has a good reputation among our server block. So I'll take it. It doesn't mean we're going to start doing things differently, because being honest brokers has always served us well. But oh, there 10,000 more kills from Porter again. He runs again. But yeah, public service announcement for anybody who is going to get 777 in their season 5 grouping: never make a deal with Joker or Jackpot, because the deal is not going to be honored. There's Huey hitting me. He sees 4 seconds out, 3, 2, 1. He hits me a couple times. I think he finally bounced off me, but I think he got some good hits in. Then I decided to bounce up here. And I was like, fine, I'll take these guys out. Didn't fill my hospitals up, which is good. So yeah, I think at a certain point, people are going to realize that you can only get double crossed so many times, and nobody's going to be able to trust anything that 777 says. They may even honestly want to strategically pair up with other alliances and other servers during season 5 or season 6 or beyond. I wouldn't trust them. Like, literally nothing they say can be trusted. And I honestly wouldn't care if we hadn't discussed it and they decided to bring other people in. That's part of the game. But the fact that it was discussed previously, the fact that we had turned away help and said, no, please don't come and help us in 777. I think that's probably the worst part here. I think this pissed Huey off a little bit. That's all right. Huey thinks that Joker's his friend, and I was trying to explain to him nobody's Joker's friend. Everybody who thinks they're Joker's friend is really just Joker's tool. Anyway, we'll go Ash, their server president here. And we'll just clean up the upper right side of the map. At this point, not only did they have 802 coming in and helping them with Huey, and really it was really UDK, but they were under a different tag. They also had 804 come in, OX01 came in. They're not very powerful. In fact, at the end of this, they're number 1 on their server. Hit me. Got through my second and third squads on this first hit, but couldn't have a follow-up. And then after it was all over, I went and took 15 or 20,000 troops from him as he bounced off me. But they were enough, you know, when we're trying to focus on cannons in the capital, it's actually outside alliances that can't focus on the cannon or capital actually can make a really outsized impact. just by forcing people to keep a squad on the wall instead of focusing on sending it at the cannon or the capital or ashing other bases that actually make an impact on the battle. Yeah, DB wanted to keep hitting me. Kept bouncing off. I think at this point, they were just trying to distract me. And coming up here pretty soon, I ended up going, I think, 3 or 4 on 1 with some jackpot bases. He's trying to distract me by hitting me, but he keeps on bouncing off my second squad. So now it's 2 on 1. Then DB comes in, so now it's 3 on 1. Running out of stamina in the middle of a battle is not fun. I should have just put 600 and called it good. So now I'm just bouncing off each of these guys. Like, oh, he had his main out, so I just ashed him real quick. Then go back to DB. And then I don't know who mate is, but anytime you see 2 squads from the same person coming at you, you know they're just free kills. This is where I see this level 34 didn't have any garrison troops. And I was going to send my gathering squad. Oh, I did get it in time, but I think did his main get back? Oh no, I still was able to ash him with my gathering squad. Love it when farmers do work. This guy decides to hit me, so I hit him with my second squad just for fun. And then he leaves. Not before I took 5,500 troops, though. I'm looking for another base that doesn't have any troops, and I can go hit him with my farmers. That guy's pretty much out of troops. That guy was too as well, so I thought I'll just go for the cannon. Super Joy's in it though, but I can ash these guys with my gathering squad. This guy, I was impressed. So my gathering squad was getting 2,000 kills at a time. So that guy's squad must have been exceptionally weak. Because my gathering squad is sitting, I think, at like 46, 47 million, but it's a weak 46, 47 million because they don't have, they've got just level 0 gold gear. People don't realize just how much that gear helps. Not only does it give you additional hero attack, hero defense, hero HP, that it's a hero HP that really translates into your hero power. But it gives you the percentage boosts as well, and that's the important part. So when you have, even level 40 gear, and you start getting those percentage boosts, a 40 million squad with decent gear is going to wipe out a 50 million squad with no gear. Of course, depending on counters and everything else, but generally what I've found is my gathering squad, despite being 47 million, will frequently lose to 40 million powered squads as long as they have decent gear. Missed the ashing on that one because of the stamina. At this point, my main's getting a little far from the base. I'd like to bring him back so I can reset. But then I saw this guy, like, even though I was at 50% power, I was still taking 5,400 troops. A couple last hits in. And then I saw that spot right next to the cannon open up, and I jumped on it. And this is Young Ba. He's the top of 804. He got one hit on me with my main out. Roma tried to hit me with his gathering squad. He should know better than that. I got a bunch of free kills here in the cannon, and then decided to take out the 196 million missile person. 16,000 kills there. And then I let the 196 million cannon or missile guy bounce off me a few times while I garrisoned the cannon. I was waiting for some more squads to come in. You see Young Bod didn't want to come back and mess with me again. He decided to go pick on QPO. I was too focused. I don't want to get distracted by an off-server person who doesn't actually matter. See, I hate that. I should have had more because I wasn't able to fully ash him. Oh no, I guess I was. Because of the lack of stamina. Go knock out the cannon again. I think that missile guy comes back. Yeah, he just hadn't had enough, so I moved from the cannon back to him. He's still bouncing off my second squad. One more hit. It's gotta hurt to be ashed by the same person twice in 2 minutes. Super Joy got back in that cannon. And here I realized, wait a second, I'm going really fast. Oh, it's over. So now I come back, like I'm gonna go get some revenge here. Now that it's over, this guy wants to play. Take 6,000 soldiers at a time. And then he tries to run me down. Even my burning missiles are still faster than him. And then he's like, okay, I'm out. So that was it. Moral of the story, if you got a really shallow server, then you got to call in for outside help, and apparently you got to lie about it too. Because honestly, if we had had even half the alliances that had volunteered to come help us, it would have been a much different battle. They would have easily taken out the 802 and 804 alliances that helped out, and we would have won hands down. So still not a bad day. For Gravedigger, just unreal effort, 68 million points. Super Joy way down at 28 million. Respectable 27.2 million in fourth place overall. Second in the alliance, I'll take it. Number 9 there was actually TJ. He just renamed himself. And then I do like seeing this. Down number 14 is Joker. You'd think with 285 million total hero power, he'd probably score more points, but I guess he doesn't know what to do with it, which ironically is something I've heard applies to other factors in his life as well. So anyway, good effort from the night crew, good effort from 788. We'll get these chests open. I'm not sure what the rest of the season or the season celebration has for us. Maybe some more Meteor Wars. If so, see you next weekend with those. I don't think we have time for another SvS, but here's to season 5. Talk to you guys later.
Hell yeah!
And heads up, don't just make a bunch of content. Like, actually go and do something.
Be sure to like and subscribe, guys.